Welcome back. I'm David Wilson, leadership coach and founder of Dominion Street Coaching. In the coming weeks, I shall reflect on different leadership styles drawn from insights from my coaching practice and also from more unexpected sources, from sport, politics, even literary fiction. But today I wanted to start with a branch of philosophy. Many of my clients work in environments where decisiveness is currency and stillness is almost viewed with suspicion. And so I want to talk about something that sounds on the surface as if it has no place in the boardroom, Zen. And I'll explain why I've come to believe it holds one of the most powerful keys to exceptional leadership. Most of the senior leaders and aspiring executives I work with come to me at a crossroads, a promotion that requires a big stretch to succeed, a restructure that's left them questioning everything about their role, or simply the sense that they need to push harder to get the traction they need. And that tension, that grinding forward motion, is exactly what Zen speaks to. There's a concept in Zen called beginner's mind, the idea that wisdom doesn't come from certainty, but rather from staying open, from approaching even a familiar problem as if you're encountering it for the first time. In law, I was trained to be the expert in the room. In banking, confidence was an armor. But beginner's mind isn't weakness. It's actually one of the rarest and most valuable qualities a leader can cultivate. It's what allows you to hear what your team is actually saying, rather than what you expect them to say. Another concept worth sitting with is often translated as non-doing or effortless action. It's Taoist in origin, but deeply embedded in Zen practice. I'm not suggesting, obviously, that leaders should do nothing, but what this concept describes is action that's aligned, which is responsive rather than reactive, timely rather than just urgent. I see its opposite every day in my coaching practice, leaders who fill silence in meetings because silence feels like a failure, who make decisions at speed, not because the situation demands it, but because pausing feels uncomfortable, and leaders who confuse busyness with effectiveness. In contrast, the most impactful leaders I've worked with share a quality I'd describe as grounded presence. They move quickly when they need to, and they stop when they need to. They've learned to distinguish between the two. That distinction, almost invisible to the outside observer, is often the difference between a good leader and a great one. Many of my clients are navigating transitions, stepping into a first C-suite role, moving from a technical to a people leadership function, or perhaps rebuilding an identity after an unexpected exit or career break. Zen has a lot to say about transitions, because at its core, it's about the practice of letting go, not of ambition, but of the stories we've attached to who we are. So when a senior lawyer becomes a senior partner or a CEO, they can't lead from the same place from which they litigated. And when a banker moves into a non-executive role, the levers are entirely different. The identity that served them brilliantly in one context can become the very thing that limits them in the next. So Zen teaches mind without fixed thought, without ego attachment to a particular outcome or role. And for leaders in transition, this is transformative. Not losing yourself, but becoming flexible enough to grow into a larger version of yourself. So what does it actually look like in practice? It's not about retreats or meditation cushions, though arguably they wouldn't hurt. It's about building micro habits of reflection, pausing momentarily before starting a meeting to ensure you're in the right mindset, asking yourself before a difficult conversation, am I responding or am I reacting? Perhaps keeping a journal, not necessarily to record what you did, but just to notice how you were. And it's all about treating leadership less as a performance and more as a practice, something you return to daily with curiosity rather than judgment. And the leaders who endure, who build cultures that people actually want to work in, who make better decisions under pressure, who carry authority without needing to perform it, they've almost always found some version of this stillness. You don't have to call it Zen, but I'd invite you to consider where in your leadership are you pushing when you could be flowing, and what might open up if you pause long enough to find out. Next time, we'll consider what this world of sports psychology brings to the leadership skill set. But until next time, thank you for listening.